All right, guys, welcome to an edition of Pink Sock Podcast. We have the one, the only. He froze, but we have the one, the only Eric13 with us. How you doing, brother?
Doing well, thank you. Good to see you guys. Back on the sock.
Right, back on the sock. It's always great to see you. But I've been looking around, dude. You are a busy mofo. You just started doing the Ramones tribute band?
It's actually not new. But I haven't done it in a few years. It's just a fun thing that me and my buddies in Philly do. Blow off some steam, have a little bit of fun. Remembering what it's like to just get in the rehearsal room with some dudes and play a little bit. Which in today's world, you don't always get to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it sounds like a fun thing to do. It's a little change from writing your own music and shit. You get to like show appreciation to the artists that you admire.
I mean, I'm a massive Ramones fan, one of my all-time favorite bands. It's just an excuse to play Ramones songs and have some fun. Though the irony is I've now been writing original songs for the Pinheads. So I just wrote 4 new tunes for the Pinheads. We played one this weekend. It's actually a little bit of a sad story. The original bass player of the Pinheads was a gentleman named Roger Siegel, and he actually he was killed last year. And in Philadelphia, the Philadelphia music scene has just been devastated by his loss. And we had a memorial show for him last year, and just a couple nights ago we had another one. It's just an excuse to get a bunch of his friends together, play some music. Have some fun, remember the man. So the Pinheads really is celebrating our fallen brother, Roger.
I'm sorry for your loss, bro.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I remember AC brought that up one time.
Yeah, he was in a band with AC. So Roger was the bass player of the Pinheads. We started the band together. But he was also in Trash Light Vision with AC Slade. He was in the Scott Sorry band, Scott from the Wild Hearts. Sorry, and the Sinatras. He was around. He was a big time dude on the Philadelphia rock and roll scene.
That's so tragic, man. But I'm glad really I'm glad you guys are honoring him by continuing on, because a lot of bands don't do that.
I thought it might be strange at first. I mean, there's some things. He was a bartender at a spot in Philly that we used to frequent, and we thought, oh God, I never want to go in there again. But we actually went in there the night of his funeral, and we said, we made a pact. It was pretty simple. We said, you know what, let's make sure we hang out. So when we're talking about getting together as friends, I don't feel like it tonight, or what, next time, because you never know when that next time might be or might not come. So a group of us, our kind of larger group of friends, just say let's just get together. Let's just keep making sure. So we started this thing called Pizza Club. So we go out, my love of pizza, and Philadelphia has incredible pizza, so many different spots. So there's one rule of Pizza Club.
Oh.
So we just get together, have a couple beers, and eat some pizza.
And by the way, you guys can donate to Eric13's Pizza Fund on his website.
Yeah,
that is true. That is true.
So you can get him a ticket to come down to Australia. So that's the goal.
Get him down under. What's your favorite? Philadelphia is your favorite pizza, or is there another type of pizza that you enjoy?
I mean, I do like what could be called New York style pizza. I think is the best pizza in the world, or you can call it boardwalk pizza. So the beach down in New Jersey, has the boardwalk. Everybody knows what that is. The pizza you get there, it's kind of like New York style pizza, to me is the definition of pizza. I mean, with all due respect to my friends in Napoli, Italy, the best pizza comes from New Jersey, New York, and Philadelphia.
I've been told that. I've heard Jersey's got the best pizza.
I mean, what's cool about Philadelphia, I mean, I'm a pizza fanatic, but I probably have 10 favorite places, and I'd say there's 8 different styles of pizza within those places. I like the classic New York slice. You go to City Pizza on Front and Snyder. You go to Lorenzo's on South Street, and this is, classic pizza. But then we got, you go to this place, Antonino's, you get the grandma pie, it's like a Sicilian thick pizza, lighter cheese and sauce. Then you go to Pizza Brain, which is like gourmet. I don't know if I'd call it weird pizza, but gourmet pizza, and they have their own thing. Then there's Brick Oven Pizza, Stella down on 2nd Street, and they're all, I mean, not totally different, but you know what I mean. Stylistically, you can't even compare them. So I got 5, 6, 7 different favorite pizzas.
Bro, you should start your own little show, kind of like the Guy Fieri, but it's all pizza.
Yeah, right.
You make your
Well,
own.
you know, I do consider myself a pretend food critic.
Oh, you'd be good at it.
You'd be great, especially with pizza.
Maybe when they have that, you know, I don't know if you have Food Network down under there, but on the Food Network, they did have a show called America's Next Food Television Star or television host.
Yeah,
you know what?
We do have the Food Network. Yeah.
Maybe I need to audition.
Yeah, add that to the list of things that you're gonna do.
Yeah, as if I don't have enough going on. As if I don't. have enough going
just
on.
add it to the. It'll keep you busy for a bit.
Because you're doing Bowie Church, you're doing Combichrist. You don't have enough on your table. You need to become a TV show host.
You know, that's actually a great idea. I would secretly love it. You know, I'm a big fan of David Lee Roth, and you know, back then when Diamond Dave, you know, he's in Van Halen, he goes solo, and he had Dave TV. All Dave, all night, right here on Dave TV.
I could say you're doing that for you, like.
That's what Twitch is. Twitch is my own. I don't have a Twitch channel. I have a Twitch network. You know, so some people, they go on Twitch and they're a DJ or they play music. For me, I want to have a whole slate of programming. You can watch my DJ show. You can watch my music show. You can watch my dramatic reading show. And I guess I'm going to have to add pizza reviews to that.
So what do you think of Chicago deep dish? We never mentioned that.
Awesome. Another great type of pizza. I was in Chicago a couple months ago. I went and I saw Blondie play. It was the last Blondie tour, and my buddy Andy Blacksugar's the new guitar player of Blondie, except the Philadelphia show fell on the day that I was flying to Europe to go on tour with Combichrist. I'm like, no. So I look at the schedule, and the only one I could really go to was at the very end of tour. There was the last show of the Blondie tour was in Chicago. So I had to fly to Chicago just to see Blondie. Totally worth it. You know, spent all the money I just made on tour on this, like going to see one concert. But it was worth it. And the point of this was got some deep dish pizza. You know what? The name escapes me. It was one of the classic places. I'm sure I could Google it.
Is it the one that begins with G?
It was.
G? Is it the one that begins with G? It doesn't begin with G, the letter G. Gia, is that the one you're talking about?
Yes. I mean, it's pretty touristy, but it was great.
Oh, it begins with a G. Giordano's.
It might be Giordano's. It might be Giordano's.
Yeah, I think because that's the one I ate at. It's touristy, but it's freaking good pizza.
Yeah, that's why I said, you know, and that's okay. Sometimes same thing. The pizza in Philly, there's this place I told you about, Lorenzo's, and people bash it to be like, oh, you eat at Lorenzo's, that place. I'm like, anyone that trashes Lorenzo's doesn't know shit about pizza. And same this Giordano's, like, who cares if it's touristy if it's delicious, you know?
We need to get that on a shirt. If you don't like Lorenzo's, you don't know shit about pizza.
You know what? That's a good idea.
That's a good slogan, man.
That's a really good advertisement for them. Eric13 says. So we recently got the news about Ozzy Osbourne's retirement, and I saw it coming, but there was a picture they posted, and you know, they do this just to make people feel bad or whatever, but it's a picture of Ozzy being led to his car and like he's all slouched over. But then they show the picture of later on that night, he's performing and he's like running in place. He's running around on stage and people are like, how? Like, how?
Well, one, he's a pro, you know, Ozzy.
Yeah.
Ozzy is Ozzy. You know, I'm a lifelong Ozzy fan since I was a youth. I still have my vinyl records. Actually, they're right behind the camera right now. My original copies of Blizzard of Oz, Diary of a Madman. I started playing guitar, you know, half because of Angus Young, half because of Tony Iommi. AC/DC and Sabbath were my bands. So I've always loved Ozzy. But look, I mean, the guy's like, what, 300 years old?
Yeah.
It's not a surprise. It's not a surprise that he's retiring. I saw Black Sabbath on the End tour a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And it was important for us. Actually, we were on the road with Combichrist at the time, and we were booked to play the Ozfest Not Fest, which was that weekend where they put the two festivals together. It was in California. I forget exactly where, somewhere a little north of LA. And we were playing on the Not Fest day. However, Black Sabbath was headlining the Ozfest day. And so to the bus driver, we're like, listen, you have to get us there. We were like 25 hours away from wherever we were. We played in like Nebraska or something. I'm like, listen, man, you got to get us there in time for Black Sabbath. First of all, that's totally illegal to drive that much as a bus driver. There are laws, important laws in place that prohibit drivers, tour bus drivers and truckers from driving that far so they don't fall asleep and kill people.
Yeah.
Luckily, this guy was willing to completely disregard the law, as was I. I was the tour manager on that tour also. I said, you know what? I don't care about anything. Get us there for Black fucking Sabbath. And
Priorities.
He did. And I got to say, and this is no exaggeration, it was one of the best concerts I've ever seen. Black Sabbath. Oh, my God. Incredible. Ozzy was great. His banter, he was slurring his words a little bit between the songs. I'm thinking to myself, not in a morbid way. I'm like, he might die right now on the stage. Like this could be his last show. And I'm glad I'm seeing it. Not, of course, I don't want to see him die. I'm glad I got a chance to see Ozzy because they sounded so incredible. He did live, but the writing was on the wall.
I think that's the joy of seeing Ozzy. You never know if it's the last time you'll ever see him. Because I saw him at a show one time and he was doing Mr. Crowley and he took a drink from his water to do like the spit up in the air and he choked on his water. and I'm like, is this it? Like, is this the stupid way he's going to go out? Like, he survived enough drugs in the 80s. Is this the way he's going to go?
Cause of death, choking on water.
You think about, there's a thing that happens in social media, people pass away and, everybody does a tribute, and some people touch more lives than others. Mm-hmm. And you think there's a few people that, one day Ozzy's going to pass. One day Paul McCartney is going to pass.
You take that back.
And, Keith Richards, maybe not Keith Richards, but,
that dude's an alien, man.
It's going to be sad. It's going to be sad, So I love Ozzy, man. I hope he lives forever, man.
Okay, this is a hard question to ask, but I have to ask the hard ones. Did you prefer Black Sabbath or Ozzy solo?
I love them both. I would say from a quality perspective, I'd say there's more good Black Sabbath than solo Ozzy. I mean, the first two solo Ozzy records are in my top 10 of all time. Blizzard and Diary, I absolutely love. But there's some albums I could do without in the 80s, Shot in the Dark and Ultimate Sin. There's a couple good songs, but, it was a little formulaic at that point. I think his last couple records are pretty cool, but Sabbath is Sabbath. I guess, oh man, that's a tough call.
It is because
the first two Ozzy carry so much weight, but Sabbath
never disappoints though.
You know what I would have loved to have heard is Sabbath playing the Dio era tunes with Ozzy live just once.
When I saw GNR last year, they did with Slash and Duff play Chinese Democracy. It was such a shock because you think they're never going to play this shit. So I know Ozzy would never. I think I've read somewhere that he said he would never ever play the Dio tunes.
Well, all due respect,
Dio did when he first joined Sabbath, when they did that live album, he did a bunch of a mixture of his and Ozzy stuff, and he sounded great.
Well, that's different,
All due respect to Ozzy, I don't think he could do it justice because Ozzy has the Ozzy era Sabbath, but Dio was a completely different monster.
Agreed. Yeah.
Like, I don't think he could do it. Like, I love Ozzy to pieces, but he was never the much range of vocalist. He was more so of a great performer. Like, he's a great singer. He's a great singer, but he's not Dio.
He couldn't sing the Dio parts. He would have to reinterpret them as Ozzy.
Yeah, as like Ozzy.
You know, just think of the mob rules. You know, Ozzy could.
Get mad rules. Like, he would have to do like that.
Yeah.
But with Ozzy, though, the thing I loved about him the most was like he didn't stick with one style of metal or rock. Like when he went into the 90s, he evolved. Like he's a constantly evolving classic rock artist. Like
totally. Well, I think it's like what you said, like about showing Ozzy on stage, you know, later still, you know, he's reached a point where, you know, obviously he's not in the best health, but when you're on that level of, you know, icon, and frankly, you have money incoming, you know, you're playing big enough shows, you know, Ozzy's not loading gear. Ozzy doesn't have to do everything. He's like a professional athlete in a way. What a weird analogy. But, you know, these guys, 24 hours a day is spent preparing them to be on the field. The same with Ozzy. So he has the rest and relaxation and food and exercise and everything to get him to that moment. And, you know, if they had to wheel him around backstage and prop him up to make him look good, you know, he has that luxury going for him that allows him to keep going at this age and his condition.
The thing that I think is very intelligent too. Did you watch when he did that halftime show?
Yes.
Well, people were like, he's looking good. He's performing good. I noticed that he was using the microphone as a crutch, but you couldn't tell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he was just being Ozzy. He was like headbanging and making it look like he was still able to go, but he never left that microphone. And that's ultimate shame, is a man who could like make it look good while you're still in pain. And that's probably why he can't tour, because he puts it all on the table when he's performing. And he can't do that every night.
Totally. Yeah.
It's not physically
possible. It sucks, you know. You gotta love Ozzy, man. You gotta love Ozzy.
Oh, did you see GNR? Speaking of earlier, they performed Slither by Velvet Revolver live recently.
Right. You know, same thing, same concert they did, and that was wild. I mean, I think that's a killer song. I mean, that's a great song, and Axl did do it justice. You know,
it's a great fucking tune. I would love to hear them do some Slash's Snake Pit.
That'd be cool
live, like Serial Killer.
I wasn't a big fan of the Snake Pit. I thought the songs were a little lacking myself. The guitar work on it, of course, is incredible to Slash, but those albums didn't blow me away.
Well, it was not Guns N' Roses or Velvet Revolver, but it was still some good albums nonetheless.
You know what? I might have to go back and revisit a little Snake Pit. Got to find at least one song to get back in the DJ set.
I honestly think you would enjoy the song Serial Killer. I think that's the one song, or Beggars and Hanger-Ons. Those are the two best songs.
Let me put that in my notes.
Miles Kennedy from Alter Bridge nailed that song live.
Oh yeah, they performed those songs live with Slash and Miles Kennedy and the Conspirators. And it's
that dude can sing.
Yeah, man.
He can. I mean, Alter Bridge. The first time I ever heard Alter Bridge, funny thing, I heard Alter Bridge when they did Edge's theme song. That's the first time I ever heard them. For any of the wrestling fans out there.
Yeah. That was the same with me as well.
Right?
Yeah.
So what did you think of Ozzy with Post Malone? Did you like that song, or was you one of those people that was like, it's not Ozzy?
I mean, I'm not dissing Post Malone, but that was, you know, whatever, man.
I could see
just the song. It's like it did nothing for me. You know, that's like I don't hold it against Ozzy for, you know, doing those kind of, look, Ozzy has carte blanche. Ozzy can do anything he wants. You know, and you know, you can't say that about every artist. You know, some artists, like, you know, it would somehow taint their reputation or their cachet by doing something weird. Ozzy can do anything he wants. But that song for me was just like, all right, this is just Hollywood bullshit. You know, maybe it's cool backstage. They hung out, and, you know, I do see Post Malone as a rock and roll dude. Actually, I've heard him do some Nirvana songs, and the dude's talented and he could sing.
I thought he nailed those cover songs too.
Yeah, so I'm not dissing him, but the collaboration with Ozzy didn't strike me in any way. Moved the needle 0%.
You had higher expectations than that.
I mean, I think it was doomed from the start. It just wasn't the kind of stuff I want to hear from Ozzy.
Oh, come on. Do you want an Ozzy Osbourne, Weird Al Yankovic song on the next album?
Yeah, I would love that.
Some Ozzy polka?
Absolutely. I saw a meme today. It's like, the Super Bowl we really want, a Super Bowl halftime show, and it's like Weird Al. I would love to see Weird Al at the halftime show. That would be great.
Could you imagine him at like an Ozfest or some shit? Freaking
he's another guy that's like that. I feel like he's now like grown past his actual reputation and now can be like, it would be cool if Weird Al, like I would love to see Weird Al at some metal festival, Bakken festival. And it's like, Slayer, Udo Dirkschneider, Rammstein, and Weird Al Yankovic.
The mosh pits would be lit, dude. That'd be fucking wild. We've been spending most of our lives, everybody dressed up like Amish people. Fucking moshing.
It's a good idea, actually, man. It's a good idea.
Have you seen the Weird Al movie yet?
I haven't. You just got me thinking about it.
You gotta watch it, dude. It's crazy. Like I was saying to Mike, I'm like, dude, half of this shit isn't real.
What's it called?
The Weird Al Yankovic story.
What an original title.
Yeah, it's called Weird the Al Yankovic.
Yeah.
It's called Weird the Al Yankovic Story, starring Daniel Radcliffe.
Wait, Harry Potter plays Weird Al?
But he was really good in it. And but you'll see a little cameo. Well,
is Dobby in it?
So what's that?
Is Dobby in it?
Well,
no, he's a free elf now.
Yeah. Well, Weird Al is in this movie as well.
Weird Al has no master.
Weird Al is in the movie. He plays.
Now, Mike, you got to be wait. I don't know if we've ever have we ever talked about Harry Potter. You must be, Mike. You got to be a Harry Potter dude. You must be.
I am planning on watching them all soon. I have not got to watch them all yet because I was too deep into Star Wars. They may release.
Wait. Come on, man. I say this with all love. As like a movie nerd that you are, I can't believe you haven't accidentally watched them all. I mean, they're on TV like every other day.
I got an idea. Okay, I will do this for you, Eric. Okay, buddy? I'm going to sit down and I will watch all the Harry Potter movies, and here in a few months, we can do a Harry Potter episode.
There we go. No joke, I was getting ready for the show today. And I'm constantly redoing my studio, but I'm actually, when we're done this interview, I'm doing a big move around the studio. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to move all my little knickknacks around. It's time for a refresh. And right as I was getting ready, I saw my Harry Potter wand, and I thought, should I bring this down for the show? I said, you know what? Nah, that'll take us down a rabbit hole. I don't want to go there. So a friend of mine went to Harry Potter World, and they're like, "Do you want a souvenir?" I said, "Yeah, get me a wand."
I haven't.
But you froze for a second here.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. We had a bit of a freezing and then acting up. Anyway, what I was saying was I'm surprised that I haven't seen Harry Potter because it's Star Wars, but with wizards.
Yeah. I am shocked that you're not like reciting lines from Harry Potter. I mean,
okay, I will come back.
You do look a little like Hagrid, actually. I never thought about that before.
You're a wizard, Hattie. I honestly think the movie, I think we froze again, but I think, okay, we're good. I think the movies missed on a comedy opportunity when Hagrid was like, "You're a wizard, Harry." Harry should have replied back with, "And you're a hairy wizard." Like, that would have been like a perfect line, but they didn't have it in the movie. But I've seen Sorcerer's Stone and I've seen Chamber of Secrets. I just haven't seen the other ones.
Okay. I'm actually not a big Harry Potter guy or anything like that.
Oh, now you're changing your tone.
Well, I'm just surprised you are. But here's the point. It's hard not to know them all because they're on TV all the time. So it's like, how can you like in this day? How can you not have seen Harry Potter? That's like those people are like, I've never seen Star Wars, and that makes me cool. You know, not that you were taking that tack, but it's like, how can you not see Star Wars? You know, if you haven't seen Star Wars at this point, come on, now you're just being a dick.
Bro, you're
another cool slogan as well. Now.
Yeah, you're making shirts over here. Don't be a dick. Watch Star Wars.
Exactly. Booyah.
You know, I've always wanted to start I've almost started a T-shirt line multiple times. Maybe it's these kind of things. Like, what would we call T-shirts that call you out? If you don't like Lorenzo's pizza, you don't know shit about pizza. If you haven't seen Star Wars yet,
you're a dick. So did I show you that? I don't know if you'd probably want to buy this on eBay because it's fucking incredible. You can actually buy on eBay the original trilogy of Star Wars, unedited, uncut, the original movie theater releases on V8. It has to be on VHS though, because they never released them on DVD. But yeah, like the Emperor in the first movie is not played by the same actor as in the other movies. It was some random dude with like fish eyes and shit.
Oh,
it was weird.
Kill them, all of them.
That was
my
good.
Emperor. That's my Emperor imitation.
That was an amazing Emperor, bro. Like, god damn.
Search your feelings, Mike. That wasn't good. You know, I just woke up a little while ago, and I was thinking, like, oh man, I hope they don't ask me to sing or get too into my impersonations. Not that you even knew I did any. I'm like, I'm still like in my wake up mode here.
You're good, bro. You're
search your feelings, Mike. You don't know the power of the pink sock.
Dude, that's gonna be a sound clip now. That's gonna be our new intro. You don't know the power of this pink sock.
I like that's another cool line for a t-shirt.
What I think they should do is they should make a Star Wars movie following Darth Plagueis.
Well, did you read the book?
Because
there is a book.
Technically speaking, Darth Plagueis is still part of the Disney universe because he was mentioned.
Canon.
Yeah, he was mentioned.
You know, there is a book though called Plagueis. Have you read it? I don't know if you read the books.
No, I'm kind of way out of touch with the books. I need to get back into reading them.
You're slipping, Mike.
I know. But in my defense, ever since Disney bought it, they release a new show, a new movie every 5 weeks, it seems.
And it's hard to tell though. What I find difficult is which ones are just too kiddie, you know, too kid oriented that you have to like start watching it a little bit. And it's like, you know, I've been like, I don't want to say I have sleep problems, but some nights I just can't sleep. So I turn on TV and I go into Disney Plus. I'm like, oh, what's this one? Like, I've never seen that. And you get all set, you know, you turn the lights out, you dial it in, and you start it. And then it's like, you know, ridiculous. And I don't mind. Hey, look, I love cartoons and I love shows for kids, but these ones are like, all right, I can't watch this shit.
Like the fact that, do they have the Ewok movie on Disney?
They do have some weird shit on the Disney Channel of Star Wars. They have like the Christmas special from the 70s is on there. There's a couple other weird ones.
That Christmas special isn't canon, is it?
So I did see The Mandalorian is starting up, and that's pretty exciting. And it's soon. You know, usually all these big shows, it takes them 2 years. So I got to give Disney credit for cranking out The Mandalorian, which is a great show.
The Mandalorian's amazing. I just hate waiting that long for a show. It could be my impatience. Like I was into Stranger Things, and they're like, it's going to take 2 years to make. And like the inner me gets really mad when I'm like, oh, well, he's in this movie and she's in this show. Why can't they do the Stranger Things?
Yeah. Same with Game of Thrones. You know, the new Game of Thrones, I thought I love the new season. And, you know, now we got to wait 2 years for that.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, did you hear Peter Dinklage is the new Toxic Avenger?
I did not.
Yeah.
You know what though? It's you know what? I could see that. I could see that.
That's going to be a fucking good movie. little dink walking around.
I like Peter Dinklage. He's a good actor.
Did you see the tweet he made a few years ago? They came out with a Game of Thrones calendar.
Mm-mm.
And he was like very funny Game of Thrones, and he was the actor on February.
Ah, see what you did there. See what you did there.
He's like very funny.
That's good stuff.
So I'm gonna have to put you on the spot here. What is your top 5 Ozzy Osbourne records?
All right. Well, Blizzard of Oz, number 1. Master of Reality, number 2. Diary, number 3. Black Sabbath debut, number 4. Ooh, man, tough one. I'm gonna go with Sold Out. No, Sabotage, number 5.
I totally agree with that list. Like, I agree. With Sabbath, since you're a Sabbath fan, what do you think the most underrated Sabbath album was?
Probably Mob
era.
Rules. Probably Mob Rules. It's a really good record. Some great songs on there, and Dio comes with some great riffs. You know, for a band to switch like that, I mean, there are a handful of bands that have done it. AC/DC, Iron Maiden, but it's not easy. But when you look back at Mob Rules and you give it a fresh listen, it's a pretty fucking good record.
And it took a lot of balls for Sabbath to be like, we're going to find a vocalist that sounds nothing like Ozzy and change our sound. Like, that took a lot of balls.
For sure.
And it freaking worked. When I was going to say underrated Sabbath albums, personally, I would have went with Dehumanizer.
Or a good album.
Or Born Again. Nobody talks about Born Again. That's like, everybody considers that the Saint Anger of Black Sabbath.
Or anything by Tony Martin as well.
Tony Martin was good.
I recently tried to listen to a few of those, and the Ian Gillan one. I mean, they are what they are, you know. Tony Iommi's the king of riffs, man. So there's always a couple good riffs on there, but they just don't grab me. You know, I'm not like the hugest Dio fan, but I recently just got some vinyl of Holy Diver, and like that record, I played it on my Twitch vinyl show, and it was like, holy shit, that record is awesome. So that's like a perfect example. It's like those Sabbath ones, you're like, okay, yeah, this sounds like 70s era, but if you don't have that personal connection to it, it's hard for it to excite you. Where that Dio record, I mean, not that it's already pretty well-known record, of course, but I've listened to some of the deeper cuts for the first time. I was like, yo, this record kicks ass.
So I read somewhere about that album, though, bro, that Dio originally intended Holy Diver to be a Sabbath tune before he got kicked out of Sabbath. And he went solo.
Didn't know that.
Yeah, I read that somewhere. And also, before Dio came into, well, no, was it before Dio or Tony? I forget before who. It might have been Ian. Michael Bolton auditioned for Black Sabbath. That is not a joke. It's been confirmed by Michael Bolton.
We've talked about, me and Mark talked about this a few times, and I was shocked too when he told me about that. I'm like, whoa.
Could you imagine? I bet you drugs were involved.
You know what? I cannot imagine. I have a pretty vivid imagination, and that I cannot imagine.
Bro, that's like, you know, drugs were involved with that decision.
Geezer, hear me out, mate. Hear me out. Michael Bolton. What, Toad? What are you smoking, mate?
The only other option that would have been more mind-blowing would have been like Rod Stewart. That would be one sexy Sabbath album, though, if it was Michael Bolton.
Oh my god, Michael Bolton old enough for that?
That'll be like
the
name of the greatest hits title.
Michael Bolton, I think, is in his like 60s now, something like that.
Wow.
Speaking of, we are going to be reviewing a movie Wednesday. Eric, you need to watch this movie. It is called Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine Special.
Okay.
It is
Yeah.
My
about.
interest is piqued.
It is made by Michael Bolton and Lonely Island.
Okay.
It's
It's on
about
Netflix.
It's about Santa Claus accidentally got a shipment of too many gifts. So he hired Michael Bolton and Lonely Island to make a Valentine's Day special to air on TV to convince the masses to reproduce so that there's enough children by Christmas.
Good premise. It's a good premise.
That's a genius.
Since it's
Wow.
Valentine's Day tomorrow for you guys, it is for me right now because it's 4:30.
Oh yeah, that's right. Well, you're in the future, so of course,
Yeah.
it's already Valentine's
So,
Day for you.
you have to watch that.
Here, it's like 2 weeks away still. On this
2 weeks away. Yeah, you're way behind, guys. Like,
So you need to
It's
watch
weird how
that movie.
Australia goes further into the future with each passing month.
yeah.
He messaged me the other day. He's like, I just celebrated Christmas already. I'm like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
It's like,
G'day, it's Christmas.
yeah, I celebrated like New Year's twice on the podcast and in here as well. Like, fuck.
It's always fun celebrating shit because he gets to do it twice.
Yeah.
Were
And
you
I-
born twice?
Maybe.
Whoa.
Legends
That's
has
something that you guys didn't know.
Legends have it. Australians are born twice. They're born American time and Australian time.
So what does that? No, that means you're like what, 80 years old by now.
I look good for that age.
You
man.
look pretty good. You look
Look
pretty
at my
good for
head.
an 80-year-old.
That's kind of like people born on leap year. That's the opposite effect. Like by that logic, I'm like 5 years old.
You a leap year baby?
No, I'm actually a tax baby.
Oh, April 15th?
April 16th.
April 16th.
Yeah.
All right. So you
April-
have to file an extension because you're a little late.
I actually remember when I started doing taxes, I'm like, fuck, I had to be born this. Like, happy birthday. You got to figure this shit out.
Well, it's better than being a Christmas baby because they get shortchanged every year.
True, unless you're in a rich family.
Sure.
Or you're a freaking, well, if you're a Christmas baby, you know when you were conceived because Valentine's Day, the math is mathin'. See, like, I don't know. My birthday falls on Easter every now and again, so that's fun. I share a birthday or a death. Actually, I share a
Oh, yeah.
death.
With who?
Oh.
The Easter Bunny? Oh.
Yeah, we need to make up our own little story as to like Easter, like, oh, the Easter Bunny died for your sins or some shit. Do you know why we have the bunny and the egg and all that shit?
No, but I
Do you
feel
know-
like you're
do you
about
know
to
the
tell me.
history. Do you know the history of Easter? It's actually
I mean,
fucked up.
the real history. I mean, the Christian history, yes, but
You know the real history, how they came to be. It's not. It actually has nothing to do with Christianity.
go on.
When a lot of holidays already existed, they were pagan holidays, and there was a leader that wanted to turn everybody Christian, so he started making up their own holidays that fell on the same days as the pagan holidays. So Easter is actually the celebration of fertility. Eastar, who is a god of fertility. That is why, because a bunny and an egg represent fertility.
Fascinating.
The more you know. Every time
more
we come
you
to the show, every time we come to the show, we both learn something.
We're
That's
an
true. That is
educational
true.
podcast.
That is true. This is a very informational podcast.
Whether it's information you want to know or not.
It's true.
I'd love to give a shout out to some of the people in the chat because we kind of been ignoring them. I apologize. Thank you, Jackie, Renee, Gorak, Eric, everybody in the chat. Thank you all for tuning in, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Does this guy know how to party or what? No.
He's got like the best like setup, and us it's just we're just in our bedrooms.
No, I think that's a green screen. he's actually out in the woods somewhere.
No, yeah, that's it. No, this is you guys. It's the Pink Sock pre-production meeting. You're like, you know what? I got a great idea for our green screen. Make it look like it's your high school bedroom. Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh man, Adam, you nailed it.
That's fucking hilarious.
Are you gonna be doing like any more like t-shirt designs by any chance?
After the show.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking about for the Pinheads, it was going to be, you know, someone saw the Pinheads show and all I got was this lousy t-shirt. I've always loved that classic t-shirt design.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. There's a guitar picture you've got you put up too, by the way. They're pretty cool. I was having a look at them and I was very tempted to buy.
If it wasn't for copyright, I'd say the Pinheads you could do like Hellraiser, but copyright. No.
Damn it.
Like, god damn. See, I got good ideas, but they're good on paper. Oh.
Execution is the trick, yeah.
Like fucking shit. Do you have any new music coming on? I know you're a busy mofo, so I just wanted to. You said you have a new album coming out with the Pinheads?
Well, I wouldn't go that far to say I have a new album with the Pinheads, other than I want to record some new songs with them and definitely put them out. But actually, with the play that I wrote, I'm actually releasing a soundtrack with it, which was not originally intended, but you know. So I wrote this play. We didn't really get into it. Called Bowie Church, and I performed it in January here in Philadelphia, and was really just intended to be a one-off thing. But it went really well, and I've since had some offers to bring the show internationally, and it's since been booked in Germany. So in April, I'm going to Germany. I'll be performing the show in Hanover at a club called Subculture. Nice. And it is a one-man show, so I'm the only actor in the show, but I did have some guest musicians on stage with me. And there's not quite the budget to fly everybody else over to Europe, only me. So I started thinking about how I might transform the play a little bit. And one of the scenes has a song that I had two guys with me. So I said, why don't we record the song in my studio and perhaps I'll play to a track or sing to a track rather. And I said, you know, it would be cool. Why don't I record the songs that I did in the play and put them out? So I'm actually in the process of recording the songs, which is some original music and of course a couple covers of David Bowie. In fact, that's another thing on my list for today. I got to do some mixing today of these Bowie tunes.
I can't wait to hear or see that. Like that sounds incredible.
It was cool. In fact, I have an idea, Gorak. I want to bring it to Australia. You know, after my first and only visit down under, I really loved it. It's a great place. You know, it's hard to justify a tour down there. You got to really obviously generate some money because it's so expensive to get down there from the States. Yeah. I wonder if this might be the ticket, you know, to book Bowie Church in a couple places down there. I got a couple buddies, you know, maybe the guys from Dark Cell can help me get it off the ground. Maybe in Brisbane.
I've seen those guys live before. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a cool band. So maybe this is how I do it.
Yeah, man. Well, I'll be down.
Eric13 over here is going to be selling feet pics online to make it to Australia.
Yeah. We'll set up like a GoFundMe thing.
Never do that. I would never have a website called 13toes.com.
Bro, you need to
don't Google it. 13toes.com.
Is that how you got your name, Eric13? Because you have 13 toes?
Matter of fact. It's a matter of fact. You know, I've never revealed that. Maybe this is the big reveal. I've been waiting for the pink sock to
Breaking news.
Yeah. Hold on. I actually have something for that. Let me get it going here. I have the pink sock news. Here we go. Breaking news.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
Hold on. I didn't expect to talk about your 13 toes. Eric13 has 13 toes on one foot.
Yeah. Just on one foot. The other foot's totally normal, man.
Yeah.
Could you imagine how fucking weird that would look?
You know how hard it would be to buy shoes?
Gonna get them custom made.
Yeah, like what size shoe do you wear? I wear a size 20 wide and
13 wide.
13 wide.
Yeah.
I see what you did there.
Well, there's a reason why I waited to say it on the Pink Sock podcast. Gotta have that tie-in.
Yeah, that's breaking news right there, man. I got a sock, you got 13 toes. We should take this on the road.
Yeah. The next single.
Forget about the Jim Ross sideshow. Now it's the Pink Sock sideshow.
The new Eric13 single should be, I got 13 toes on one foot.
Yeah.
Bro,
but the other foot is totally normal.
It's always a pleasure having you on because we never know what the hell we're going to talk about. We can't plan these. We can't.
I think it's better that way. I was actually thinking that myself. Like it was, so we started at noon my time. It was like 11:47. I'm like, are we supposed to be talking about something today? I said, I have literally no idea what it was. If there was something we were talking about, I don't know what it was. I was like, you know what? I'm sure we'll probably won't. If there was, we won't talk about it anyway because we'll probably start talking about something else.
Yeah, the only time we really talked about something that we had planned was the Australian Star Wars episode, and we still trailed off.
Yeah.
Oh, we were like, oh, Star Wars. I'm like, oh, have you seen the new serial killer documentary? It's pretty good. I think we all might have like a form of like ADHD or some shit. I think we might have. I know I do. I don't know why my AD is in high definition, but it's a great thing to have.
Yeah, mine's the 4K HD.
What is that? I thought it stood for. It's like if you ordered Domino's pizza, right? After Domino's, isn't that what? After Domino's something?
After Domino's, I don't know.
Hydrate deeply.
After Domino's, hydrate deeply. That needs to be on a shirt too. That's part of your pizza shirts.
Yeah. The new line of pizza merch. I mean, I do have pizza merch. I literally have a line of the Eric13 Pizza Fun merch. Yeah, Gorak, don't you have the Pizza Fun socks? Don't you have the Pizza Fun socks?
Yeah, I've got that. I got the Noami socks. I got obviously this shirt. I got the hoodie, the Eric13 Pizza Fun shirt, and the Coffee Monster mug.
Yeah, there you go.
So yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't push my own merch on a show, but I would hydrate.
See, that's good advertisement there. Dude, we should make a meme of this.
That reminds me of Wayne's World.
Yeah.
Dude, that's I need to get one of those.
So you need to do like an ad for that.
The Eric13 Pizza Fun water bottle.
Get it now.
We are actually working on coming out with a Pink Sock podcast merch line.
Okay.
We will have fanny packs that say "Touch my fanny," and it has the pink sock. Yeah,
you gotta have socks, man.
Oh, I'm working on socks. The website I was going to go through don't have socks, and I'm like, what? What? How? Like,
you have it copyrighted? I might have to make some pink socks.
Eric over here is going to steal our idea and start his own podcast.
You know what's funny though? The merch company I use, I could literally have it up in like 5 minutes. This merch company is so great. Like I could make pink socks so fast. I might make them just for myself. Maybe I'll make some pink socks.
Oh, that'll work. I as long as I get a shout out on them. These pink socks, Mike over here in Gorak down under. Since we say down under for Australians, shouldn't Americans be up over?
Yeah.
I never thought of that until now. I like that one now. Yeah. Yeah.
Americans, we're up over.
Yeah.
I don't know what we're up
I
over.
still like being from the future though. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
We're stuck in the past, dude.
Because like if I come and
Living in
visit
the
you
past.
you guys are just gonna be asking me what's the future like. I'm like, well, nothing's changed.
Whoa. Yeah.
Just different seasons, you know.
You know how far we are in the past, Gorak and Eric? We're so far in the past that Americans still have one blockbuster left. That's how far we are in the past. We still have Blockbuster. Have you been to that Blockbuster, Eric? You travel a lot.
I have not.
You should add that to your bucket list because they do have an Airbnb you can stay in.
That is something I would do. You know, it was just Groundhog's Day here. And I did visit Punxsutawney Phil in person one time when we were on tour. It was with the SexSlaves, and we were like, okay, all right, we're driving across PA. Where is it? And it was like 5 hours out of the way. I mean, Pennsylvania's a huge state. And so we said, fuck it, we're doing it. And we drove there. And, you know, he lives in a library. So there's a library, and they have a little cage, and there's a window that you can look in. And he lives there with his wife, actually. So there's Punxsutawney Phil and his wife, Phyllis. This is real. So there's a user here saying that they used to live there. They can verify this.
Yes, Carrington lived there. I telling people that I live near Pittsburgh all the time. They're like, "Oh,
wait,
so
have you been
Philadelphia."
there? Have you
And
been
I'm
there?
like,
You ever been to Punxsutawney?
You froze real. What was the name of the place?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Nope, I haven't been there, but I plan on going.
Come
now.
on, man. We need to do a live. We need to do a live Pink Sock broadcast.
Meet me there. We'll.
Wait, what we're gonna have to do is a series of broadcasts where every day we broadcast the same thing. Wow, this would make a great movie.
Right? It's like Harold and Kumar.
Yeah.
Eric and Pink Sock.
Yeah. Eric and Mike go to Punxsutawney.
Released in theaters near you on April 20th. Be prepared. There's a 6-foot statue of a groundhog outside every business, painted accordingly.
Yeah. That's what's cool about it.
What my original thought was is I tell people I'm near Pittsburgh and they're all like, "Oh, so you can go to Philadelphia." And I'm like, "I can, but that's not near Pittsburgh." Like they think Pennsylvania is a small state. It's not.
No.
It's really not. But I've been to Philly. Philly's beautiful.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but
There's a lot to do in comparison.
Philly is cool. No, Philly is cool, but I don't know if beautiful is the word I would use.
I mean, I live in a backwoods area. Anything's beautiful to me.
Actually, Pittsburgh's pretty cool.
It is.
Pittsburgh is also pretty cool. There's actually a lot to do in Pittsburgh also.
See, I hate driving in Pittsburgh. I hate driving there. I'm used to it now, but like initially, they will hide like your exit signs right before the exit behind a pillar. And you're like, which exit am I at? And you're in the far right lane and you got to be in the far left and you're in back-to-back traffic. You're like, oh shit, I got to be over here.
And then you're over one bridge and then you make one turn, you're over a bridge and then you got to like drive back over another bridge. Yeah. I feel you.
Yeah.
Man. I feel you.
Yeah. Like, fuck. Like that's one of the most confusing cities I've driven in. Because like you make one wrong turn and you got to turn all the way back around and fucking try it again.
Have you been to the Andy Warhol Museum?
Oh shit! What did you say, Eric?
I said, have you been to the Andy Warhol Museum? No, am I frozen up? Am I freezing? I see me just fine.
Oh, you froze real quick. Just one more time. Sorry. Oh.
I'm just fucking with you now. Have you been to the Andy Warhol Museum in Pittsburgh?
No, but I am going actually next week.
Cool. Yeah, it's good. Cool spot.
See, I've been to Pittsburgh a lot, but mostly for concerts. I've never actually traveled through Pittsburgh, so I'm planning on making that an ordeal very soon. So I'm going to write all these down or message them to me because I'll forget. And I'm going to visit all these places. You have a pretty big hand if you're putting everything on there.
It's got an external hard drive.
Actually, you should write it on your good foot, the one that's like
Yeah.
Since we have some freezing going on, I'm going to let you go here soon, Eric. I don't know if it's internet or what, but we would love to have you back on. You're always welcome, bro. You have a home on the sock.
It's always fun to visit you guys on the sock. Always fun to be on the sock. Good time we always have. And I like this unscripted way. That's the way we should do it. Who needs a theme, man? We can bullshit all night.
Yeah, like I honestly, I started this podcast because I'm like, I didn't do it to just interview people. I did it because I just like talking. And it just kind of evolved from there because we've had guests come on that's like, oh, we've seen you around. We would like to be on because you don't interview. It's more of like buddies hanging out. And Gorak said a few weeks ago, he's like, we don't interview. We just make friends.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Here we are.
And then I got dragged on to this. And then, yeah.
But
since
guys,
I started doing this as well,
I've
been having too much fun with it. So.
Good.
It is fun. Well, thanks for having me on, guys. Always a pleasure. Till next time on the sock. Wait, what was my homework? I had a movie I had to watch. Tell me, what was that?
Okay, Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine Special.
Oh, and the Weird Al movie. The Weird Al movie.
Weird Al is on Peacock, I do believe. No, it's on Roku. It's on the Roku channel. You can get it on any device. It's just the Roku channel. And you can watch Michael Bolton's Big Sexy Valentine Special because it's a Netflix original.
Okay. All right.
I
I got
never
it.
get rid of that. That's been up on there for years.
Yeah, it's been on there for a while. But guys, go check out Eric. His music's amazing. And if you don't like his music, you'll like his pizza selection.
And if you don't like that, you're a dick.
Yeah, if you don't like good pizza, then you got a problem.
You got a problem. As always, guys, live long, rock hard, and hit that subscribe button. Love you all.
Take care, guys.
Take care,
See you,
buddy.
dude.